There's no need for break now. Good day, this is Inside Nigeria on Leadership TV. I am Cynthia Onado, your host on the show today. And of course, you know what we do on Inside Nigeria every weekday. We look at trending stories from the front pages of our various national dailies here in Nigeria. And of course, today we'll begin with Friday leadership. We'll get to see what the major headline here is saying. As polls hold today, 5.1 million voters decide Kogi Imo Bayelsa's futures. INEC distributes non-sensitive materials. Military state security warn troublemakers to steer clear. Police chief deploys DIGs, bans sirens, revolving lights, covered number plates, tinted glasses. FRSC sends 1,500 personnel. And still on the Friday leadership, Nigeria, Saudi Arabia sign MOU for oil gas sector cooperation. All right, and the trending here is Emefiele granted bail by FCT court. Still on the Friday leadership, Wike remains my principal, says Fubara. Customs to evacuate 6,000 overtime cargoes from seaport. And also on the seaport, ship owners say maritime sector loses 1 trillion naira annually. Kokori down with kidney ailment, 6 treatment abroad. And we'll be moving now to the page 3 of our editorial called Our Stand. It says, as Kogi Imo Bayelsa elects new governor, where you can get to pick up a paper of Friday leadership and get to see what that editorial is all about. And of course, behind right here we have small chance for INEC to save itself in a big way. All right, to get to see conversation with Azu, and of course it's a weekly diary on life and politics. Here, cartoon says Ghana must go, or you're to shut down mushroom primary schools to create mushroom farms. A big question mark right behind it. Of course, to check this out, you can pick up a paper Friday leadership, and for more news stories you can check us on our website. That's www.leadership.ng. Well, moving away from leadership, let's get to see from the blueprint here. It says 24 hours to Kogi Imo Bayelsa polls, parties bickers. Military warns thugs of injurious consequences. Troops neutralize 113 terrorists, arrested 300 in 1 week, says the defense headquarters. And Ododo, SDP alleged arrest of supporters in Kogi, police clarify. PDP cautions riggers. ICPC deploys operatives. And still on the blueprint here, it says NPAN returns trust publisher Kabiru as president, Ishekwene assistant scribe. All right, UBA Saudi Exim Bank partner on business relations and export. The NDIC pays 1.393 billion naira to depositors of 110 microfinance banks and others. We're still looking at the blueprint here. Police redeploys 14 AIGs, 26 CPs in major shakeup. Federal government to construct 10,000 housing units in the FCT. NLNG absolves self from soaring cooking gas prices. And still on the blueprint here, it says federal government lashes at Obi over comments on 2.17 trillion naira supplementary budget, says appropriation bold pragmatic response to pressing issues. All right, you can pick up a copy of the Blueprint newspaper. Moving on right now, let's get to see from The Guardian. The major headline here says, renewed hope agenda. Political class at profligate best as citizens languish. And of course, we can get to see a breakdown of the luxury budget for Nigeria's presidency. All right, moving on now. Importers to pay more as customs revises rates to 783 naira to a dollar amid 70% decline. Still on The Guardian here, UBA Saudi Exim Bank partners on business relations and export growth. Decision day in Imo, Bayelsa, Kogi. INEC affirms readiness and the defense headquarters uncovers plots to cause mayhem. We're still on The Guardian. Passengers stranded as labor unions picket airports. KMO fumes. Reps summons FIRS. Others moves to check powers of CBN governors. Election litigation over. Real governance should commence. That's on the editorial page of The Guardian. And finally on The Guardian, Naiti reveals Federation account received 14.4 trillion naira in 2 years. Well, for details of these, you can check out The Guardian newspaper today. Well, we're moving on to the Vanguard here. It says, off-circle Guba elections. The defense headquarters, DSS, IGP read Riot Act as Imo, Bayelsa, Kogi polls hold tomorrow. We'll deal with those planning to disguise in military gear to cause violence, says the defense headquarters. Shun inflammatory statements or face our wrath. DSS wants. IGP orders postings, redeployments of 14 AIGs and 26 commissioners of police. Southeast monarchs, bishops sue for peace. We're still on the Vanguard this morning. The Vanguard. It says here, Rivers political crisis. Wike remains my Oga, says Governor Fubara. Appeal court judgment. More protests rock plateau. Ex-Labour leader Kokori struggling for life in Delta Hospital. Ports decongestion. Customs set to dispose 7,000 cargoes. We're still on the Vanguard. It says Labour strike. Passengers stranded. Flights cancelled. Bandits kill 11 in Sokoto communities raid. Reps move to reduce power of CBN governors. On sports, so Sime returns after international break, says National Boss. Of course, this is all from the Vanguard. We'll be moving on now to The Nation. Well, the major headline here says Bayelsa, Imo, Kogi 2023. All set for elections. Military warns miscreants to stay off. DSS cautions against inflammatory statements. Hotel scarcity leaves INEC officials, security agents stranded. Okay, Uzodima Kiyamo, CSOs, labor protests, partisan. Osifo, we would stop. Passengers stranded at Abuja Lagos airports. We're still on The Nation. It says Nigeria's oil supply to Europe hits 730,000 barrels per day. Right, Umahi explains 21 billion naira vote for third mainland repairs. Yoruba in diaspora to Tinubu eradicate poverty. We're still on The Nation. The headline here says, Wike remains my principal, Fubara declares. Finally, on The Nation, Nigeria, Saudi Arabia sign MOU on oil and gas investment. You can check out The Nation newspaper today for details on the front page headlines. We'll move on now to The Punch. The major headline here says, off-season polls. Federal government tackles labor over strike. Unions disrupt Imo flights. Don't allow Labour Party destroy NLC TUC. Minister condemns airport picketing. INEC insists on polls. Unions stop Owerri flights. Block Abuja airport. United Nigeria Airlines air peace passengers stranded. Still on The Punch, border closure. Businesses collapse in northern communities, smuggling booms. Crude export to Europe rises. Federal government boosts local supply. Budget hearings. Senate demands sacking of MDA heads. We're still on the punch this morning. Energy, federal government, Saudi sign MOU, Exim Bank, UBA partner on trade. 40 AIGs, commissioners redeployed in police shakeup. We're still on the punch this morning. Abuja youths threaten to shut council over bad roads. And finally, on the punch front paper headline, he says federal government solicits foreign aid to resettle Benue IDPs. For details of this, you can pick up a copy of the Punch newspaper. We'll move on now, finally, to this day. The major headline here says INEC deploys 27 RECs, 2 national commissioners, orders to Bayelsa, Kogi, Imo. We have made arrangements for land maritime transportation to ensure voting commences on schedule, says Commission. Defense Headquarters, DSS, police vow to deploy force strength. Advise saboteurs to stay clear of Imo, Kogi, Bayelsa. Alleged plot by impersonators in military uniform to orchestrate havoc. We are still on the these day. Here the headline still says UBA Saudi Exim Bank partner to enhance business relation exports. Power supply. Niger government demands 13% derivation from the federal government. All right, still on this day newspaper. Tax. Court nullifies laws demanding 50% payments of disputed assessment. Finally, on the this day front page headline, we're looking at native. NNPC contribution to federation accounts declined by 56% in 2 years. FIRS reported 10% drop. NUPRC, Federal Revenue Body, National Oil Company, orders remitted 14.38 trillion naira. And for details of this frontline news stories, you can check out this day newspaper. Well, that's all today on the Inside Nigeria this morning. Of course, for more news stories on leadership, you can check out our website www.leadership.ng. Many thanks for watching. Have a good day.